Wow, this was a nice surprise. I heard some good things about it, right? So I was expecting good things from the book. But then in the gym last night when I was walking on the running machine reading a book, I noticed this name on the front cover, Abnett. And I thought, oh crap, it's not Dan Abnett, is it? So before I opened the pages, my anticipations of it being good, because the reviews that I looked at online went downhill immediately, because I just assumed, if this is Dan Abnett, the same Dan Abnett who writes all those empowered female characters in 2000 AD, it's going to be awful, because everything he does is awful. Everything he does is about reversing the traditional gender roles. His men are total cocks, and his women act like the most masculine, kick-ass of male characters you can possibly imagine. So how could Dan Abnett have a villainous female and pull it off? Because all his females are heroic fighters against the cis male patriarchy, or whatever they call it. So I'm reading the book cautiously, thinking, oh god, this is going to be bad. This is going to be bad. And I'm reading it, and the artwork is absolutely awesome. And he's talking about the gender roles being reversed, and how this character here is mourning the death of her lover being Sylvester Kyle, opposed to Selena Kyle, because she is like an Aquaman stroke Batman mix, and in her world the women are men and the men are women. And when her lover dies, she's a traumatized, angry, lash out at the world and make everything burn to make me feel better kind of character. That alone would have been interesting, right? But not particularly revelatory. I would have just said that, okay, it was a good idea to get Dan Abnett writing this comic book, because his female characters always come across like like blokes. So this character having the gender reversed, it works quite well with Dan Abnett's style in that he can't really write convincingly feminine women. But then as the book progresses, and look at this artwork here, and this traumatized character meets the man who laughs, it really goes to a whole new level. I'll just read out what he says here. This character, the man who laughs, right? Because it's a synthesis, really, of how the left get traumatized people to work on their behalf, and to use their perceived grievances to embolden the socialist state. Listen to this. He showed me the lower tier worlds, the minus realms of the dark multiverse that have suffered so that the light could thrive. The worlds and the peoples that had paid the price so that the worlds above could flourish. This is the idea that Africa's only Africa, and poverty, and you see the images on TV. It's a big thing when I was a kid, Bob Geldof, but not a lot of things appear to have changed. But anyway, the idea that Africa is only suffering poverty and misery and depredation because they're being exploited by the evil first world, that'd be us. The idea that there's only rich people in the West because they're exploiting the poor workers. It's the Marxist thing, the exploiter class and the oppressed. It ties into modern identity politics with the patriarchy, the white male patriarchy, and with the new class of oppressed people, which is minorities and women of colour and anyone who's not white and male, basically. And this character here, then, is pretty much a stand-in for somebody like Jeremy Corbyn in the UK, or Bernie Sanders in the States. Somebody who tells the people that yeah, you're traumatized, your life sucks, you're not as wealthy as that guy down the road, and the only reason that he is wealthy is because he's exploiting you. And what we want you to do is rise up, revolt, burn everything down, and we can have a Bolshevik-style revolution here, which will make the world utopia, where everything will be fair. And it's a lie, of course it's a lie, which always leads to misery and piles of corpses and a new class of privileged people which is what George Orwell's Animal Farm is all about. And it's just amazing to see it outlined in the pages of a comic book, but a comic book written by somebody who I assumed was a old liberal socialist in his 50s who would vote for somebody like Jeremy Corbyn. So perhaps I've got Dan Abnett wrong, or perhaps he's changed his mind about a few things over the last couple of months since I've been reading his stuff. But I don't know, because I haven't had a conversation with Dan Abnett. All I can do is look at his stuff in 2000 AD and his work that he does for other publishers, and I just get a strong feminist vibe from there, a strong lefty vibe. But this book is completely anti-lefty, and it exposes what the left is all about, which is exploiting the grievances of traumatised people to enlarge their own power base. So excellent job for Dan Abnett. I'm surprised, but thrilled, delighted, and wow, I just enjoyed every single page of this comic book. It's awesome stuff, which I happily give a 10 out of 10. Why not? I don't normally do ratings. There you go. I've given a Dan Abnett comic book 10 out of 10. If you keep doing more stuff like this, Dan, then I might be tempted to go back to 2000 AD, really. So there we go. Awesome, awesome book this round. Love it. And thanks for checking out the video. Give me your thumbs up if you'd be so kind, or a thumbs down if you think I'm talking nonsense. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, because it'd be nice to get over 500 subs. I'll be back next week. I'm off for the weekend, making a bit of money. Cheers. I appreciate everyone who watches my videos. Take care, everyone, and I'll be back probably Monday or Tuesday. See you guys. Goodbye.